Hey, good morning, everybody. I hope you are okay and COVID free. Uh, Welcome to another class, Academic Resource Support class. I'm very happy to see you guys. Psych, can't see you, but I gotta cope with it, right? Anyways, we're gonna start a new lesson today. It's gonna be about self compassion, right? So before you guys think that, oh my God, another lesson that's going to take forever, think about this. The lessons that I show are actually like 20 minutes long. And then I give you a little bit of extra work. That'll take 20 minutes of your time. So that's equal 40 minutes, right? That is almost a whole lesson. Classes usually take 1 hour and 30 minutes. So I'm just going to erase 30 minutes of the lesson and I'm going to produce some lessons that are actually taking the length of 60 minutes. So that means 20 minutes of this lesson. You're going to take 20 minutes to complete an assignment, and that's 40 minutes. And then the other 20 minutes you're going to dedicate to actually think of yourself. You're going to sit down and you're going to think about all the things that bother you, all the things that bother you about yourself, and all the things that you're grateful of. Okay, so there's three things that you should think about after this lesson is done, and it's going to work this way. I'm going to show you the objective. Okay, I'm going to show you the objective of the day. Then we're going to go to the lesson. The lesson is going to be about self compassion. We're going to begin the lesson by talking about different different definitions, some words that I'm going to teach you, some words that you probably don't know, and some words that you probably heard of but don't understand correctly the meaning of them. So that is why I am here. Let me just give a quick shout out to all those students that have been completing all their tasks. Congratulations to Jennifer. Congratulations to Guadalupe. And Richard. Richard Leal has actually have been working with me. That's great. He sent an email a couple of weeks ago talking about his worries and concerns about the class, and he was able to submit some work. So that is great, man. So congrats to that. If you guys feel like clapping, this is the time to clap. I'm gonna wait for it. You guys done? All right. So my dog is in the back over there. I'm not gonna bring him today, just because I don't know. I don't feel like hanging around with my dog today. But let's just focus on the lesson, okay? Objective. Let's begin. Students will demonstrate knowledge of self-compassion by completing a quiz with an accuracy of 80%. How is that going to work? What do you mean a quiz, Mr. Zayas? A quiz in this pandemic? What are you talking about? That is not good. The quiz is online. It's very easy. You guys have done it before. It's on flowcabulary.com. Uh, it's fun. It's not a boring quiz. It's a fun quiz. Okay? So cut me some slack. Let me just minimize this right here. And I appreciate for you guys that are still listening to me in this lesson. I really do. I know your time is super valuable. I'm sorry to take time away from your Warzone playing and your makeup video tutorials on YouTube. Anyways, here we go. Self compassion. Guys, you remember the word compassion? I talked about it in class before. A lot of people associate that with feeling sorry for somebody else, right? Well, in part, that's true. Self compassion comes from compassion, feeling for yourself. So you have to cut yourself a break. You understand what I'm saying? Compassion is when you feel sorry for somebody else, like you feel their pain. That's compassion. Self compassion is compassion towards yourself. So that's kind of weird, right? Because how can you feel compassion for yourself? What are you talking about? That means that there's two people, that there's two people inside of one person, one body. You're talking about that there's like one brain telling the other half of the brain, "Hey, I feel sorry for you." No, that's not it. That's not it. But you know what? It could be. It could be. Before we dive into that, let's talk about vocabulary. Okay? What is acknowledge? Acknowledge to admit something that is real or true, to express that you know something or someone, right? You acknowledge that that is true. What is compassion? Compassion is a feeling of sharing the stuff of others and of wanting to help. So not only you feel sorry for that person, you actually want to help that person because you're a nice person, right? You're a nice guy. So you feel like you want to help that person. You see somebody down and you immediately ask yourself, how am I going to help this person? That is self-compassion. And that is not that is not self-compassion. That is compassion. All right? Humanity, human nature. Our humanity means that sometimes we fail, but it also means that we have the ability to love. So maybe I failed you in some way, but your humanity actually carries you towards the realm of having the ability to love me anyways. That is humanity. That is why it is called humanity, because we're humans and that is the way that we actually behave. That's why we add the prefix anity, right? Humanity. Okay. Mantra, a sound, word, or phrase that is repeated often. Okay, so a lot of people associate mantras with right? Those Buddhist sounds that you hear in the temples and whatnot. If you have a Buddhist temple around your neighborhood, that I obviously doubt, but yeah, those are mantras. But basically, is a sound, word, or phrase that is repeated often. And you can see the example right below. It says, I am enough, I am enough, I am enough, I am enough, right? That is something that you repeat over and over and over. It is a mantra and it helps you to set your mind into the right space. So there could be good mantras, and guess what? There could be bad mantras. Bad mantra could be I suck, I suck, I suck, I suck. That is a bad mantra. And the effect of the good mantra could translate immediately to the bad mantra, and that could affect you badly, right? You don't believe me? I have a video for you. You're going to watch it. We're going to watch it together, actually, about having bad mantras. Okay, what is mindfulness? A state of practice of focusing one's awareness on the present moment and accepting one's feelings feelings, thoughts, and sensations without judgment. Okay, this is an example. When I feel myself becoming overwhelmed, I try to practice mindfulness. I concentrate on my breathing and think about the present moment. Okay, mindfulness is basically saying that you are aware of your thoughts. Okay? Once you're aware of your thoughts, you can identify if your thoughts are the correct thoughts or are bad thoughts that if you keep practicing, they will turn into a bad self of state. A bad self in a bad state. Okay? It is so hard to translate my thoughts of Spanish into English. That is a fact. Anyways, let's talk about respect. RESPECT. Respect is have regard or consideration for the feelings, rights, or customs of others. Okay? The teacher is very kind to everyone. He respects all his students and their needs. Okay? Everybody knows what's respect. Okay, self talk, the act of talking to yourself, either out loud or in your head. Okay, so now we recognize the vocabulary words. We have acknowledge, compassion, humanity, mantra, mindfulness, respect, and self talk. All these words have to do with the topic of self compassion. Okay, we're going to talk about self compassion after we watch this video. It's a music video. Okay? So let's see what the song has to say. But before we begin it, ask yourself a question. Are you practicing self compassion? Answer it. I'm waiting for you to answer, actually. Are you practicing self compassion? Oh, Mr. Zayas, I don't know what is self compassion. I never heard of self compassion before. What are you talking about? Well, self compassion is basically translating what you feel with other people and then turn it against yourself. Use it for yourself. Okay? All right, let's listen to the video.
Man, I'm so stupid. How did I get this one wrong? Hey Marco, are you busy? We should probably talk about how you talk about yourself. I think that you should cut it out. Okay, so you did badly on a test. That doesn't mean that you should be addressed any worse than your friends. There are ups and downs in this thing called life. Sometimes we get it wrong, sometimes we get it right. People make mistakes every day and every night. There's things about yourself you want to change that you don't like, but compassion is the key. It's when you're kind and understanding about someone else's problems they've been handed. Have some compassion for yourself. I'm here to give reminders. The first part of having self-compassion is self-kindness. You deserve respect like anybody on the planet. Yeah, no matter what, I really hope you understand it. And speaking of the planet, everybody on it sometimes messes up. You got to keep on going. It's part of being human. It's a part of living. Once you recognize it, then you'll start forgiving yourself for your mistakes. You are not the enemy. Your messing up is a part of your humanity. Here's the last thing that I need you to remember. Your feelings are important, so please do not pretend they're not a big deal or that they're not real. People should respect different ways that you feel. So if you're feeling angry or a little down, you should know that feelings are allowed. Give yourself a moment just to think, or maybe you could chat about it. Over time, I hope that you'll forget about it. When you acknowledge your feelings, that's called mindfulness. It's so important that I had to write a rhyme for this. Yeah, now let's put it all together. Compassion for yourself makes your life a lot better. You might mess up, but just keep at it. Love yourself and don't forget it. If you practice compassion for everybody else, why not have some compassion for yourself? You might mess up, but just keep at it. Love yourself and don't forget it. If you practice compassion for everybody else, why not have some compassion for yourself? Sometimes you feel sad, you don't have the latest fashion. Sometimes you make mistakes and it's easy to start bashing yourself and your actions. But can you imagine talking to a friend like that? Not happening. So self-compassion is the way to go. I promise you it's worth your whole weight in gold. Marco, would you ever tell a friend they are stupid for not passing a test? I know you wouldn't do it. You treat your pals in the sweetest ways, cause they make you smile when you see their faces. So go on and befriend yourself. Say hello, it's nice to meet you. It's good for your health. And here's a couple things that you can always do when your brain wants to say something mean to you. First, you can write your thoughts in a notepad, and please don't hold back. And when you look at all the words that you wrote when you were blue, you'll think, man, I was kind of rude. Oh my gosh. Next up, let's change the little voice in your head and all the self-talk you tell yourself when you're sad. What else could you say that's not so mean? Got a bad grade? Well, let's see. Maybe you can say, I'll study harder next time. See, that wasn't hard. You can borrow that line. Or you could come up with a phrase that you repeat every single time you're dealing with defeat. Yeah, that's called a mantra. A lot of people find them really helpful. A mantra helps to remind them that they're not alone, or they should try again. You might do it daily like I take a multivitamin. Oh, wait. While I was showing you my flow, I came up with a mantra. Wanna hear it? Here we go. You might mess up, but just keep at it. Love yourself and don't forget it. If you practice compassion for everybody else, why not have some compassion for yourself? You might mess up, but just keep at it. Love yourself and don't forget it. If you practice compassion for everybody else, why not have some compassion for yourself?
All right. All right. We finished the video. Thank you for watching it whole, 3 minutes and 44 seconds. Anyways, self-compassion, right? You never heard of that before. This is a new topic for you. And I'm glad to present it. And especially at this stage where we really need some self-compassion, right? So it is a thing. It is a thing. It is a thing when you actually talk down to yourself and you say that you're not good enough, right? A lot of people do that and they don't realize that they're damaging themselves without even knowing it. Can you believe that? They're damaging their subconscious. And the subconscious actually could work for you, but it could also work against you. It could also work against you. Okay? So I'm gonna give you a couple of tips. Once you do an activity that you thought, hey, that didn't go my way, it wasn't so good. Um, Remember that you have to treat yourself as if you're treating a friend that you really like and care about. Okay? Let me repeat that again. So every time you fail, the next words that are coming out of your mouth or words that are emanating from your brain has to be supportive, okay? It has to be supportive. Like if you're trying to encourage a young little brother or a young little sister. Do you guys have sisters and brothers? I'm pretty sure you do. I'm pretty sure all of you have a good friend, a good best friend, or maybe a bunch of good acquaintances. Or maybe you guys have really nice siblings or good parents that you want to encourage for them to feel good, right? So I want you to picture this. You're sitting down doing an art project with a bunch of friends. You're in your school, inside of a classroom, and you see one of your friends that are really working at this project. You're trying to draw a beautiful hand, and that beautiful hand is connected to the whole body, right? So you're finishing the body, and you finish the whole body, but you're just working at that hand, and they're drawing, and they're using a calculator, and they're using a ruler and whatever, and you see them really struggling at it. The hand didn't come out too well. The hand looks ridiculous. It has six fingers instead of five fingers. And you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, that is so bad. But what do you say? What do you say to that person? Think about it. What do you say to that person? You say, it doesn't look too good. It kind of sucks. You're not a good drawer. Or do you say, hey man, it's pretty good. I mean, if you erase one finger, it'll look like a normal human being hand. Okay, so you're probably going to go with the second option, right? Good. That means that you're compassionate about other people. So the same thoughts that came into your brain and the words that you chose to convey to this person, that has to be the same principle that you have to apply to yourself. Okay? It's the same principle you have to apply to yourself. You basically have to tell yourself, hey man, I know it looks kind of weird, but if you do this and you do that, you see how I chose my words? So the trick here is choosing the right thoughts. Okay? Choose the right thoughts, treat yourself you treat yourself good and you treat yourself well every day, you're gonna become a better person. Okay? Let's talk about the other way around. You say to that person, hey man, that hand really looks ridiculous. I'm not gonna present this drawing. Maybe you should dedicate your time to something else because you're not good at this. If you say that to that person, how that person's gonna feel, man? That person's gonna feel like garbage. They're gonna feel like garbage, to be honest. So how are you gonna feel if you talk that way to yourself? Probably not as bad because it's coming from you. No, you're absolutely wrong. It is going to be the same thing, the same psychological effect as if somebody came up to you and told you that to your face. It's going to be the same psychological effect. So every time you do something wrong or you say something stupid, like I do, like 90% of the time, you have to actually treat yourself well because you're the only friend that you have. Does that make sense? Of course not. But you understand what I'm saying. You have to treat yourself well all the time. All the time, you have to treat yourself well. It is not impossible. You have to go against the current. Society is actually teaching people that they're not good enough. You have to go against the current. And the current right now is putting people down, letting people know that they are not good enough. Okay? You have to be a realist too. Compassion is something that you have to practice every day. Sometimes you're going to be off, you're going to have off days. Okay? On those off days, it is a good time to practice mindfulness and look at your thoughts. And don't judge your thoughts, just look at them and identify, are these good thoughts or are these thoughts that are not very good for myself? Choose your thoughts, okay? Don't let thoughts choose how you're going to feel. Choose your thoughts. Practice self compassion, okay? Practice it every day. Get good at it. You can get good at it. Practice every day self compassion to see how you'll feel, okay? All right. So after this lesson, you're going to go ahead to flowcabulary.com. Okay. Let me just write it right here. After the lesson, go to flowcabulary.com and then you're going to enter as a student. All right. You enter as a student and then you're going to complete the quiz. Okay. The quiz is right here. You click on it. There we go. And it's going to ask you 10 questions. So the first one is self-compassion is the belief that you're feeling weird, you're alone in your thoughts and emotions, people only care about themselves, or you deserve to be treated with kindness and understanding. Okay. This is not in order. The questions will shuffle once you start it. So yeah. Answer those. Once you're finished, you do a screenshot and you do the screenshot, save it, and then you send it to my email. Okay? Send it to my email. My email is this Alberto Zayas at pgcps.org. Okay? The A is small lettering, okay? Small lettering. Okay, guys, thank you for your time. I know your time is super valuable. I know you use your time very well. I tried my best to make this short because I know you guys are very overwhelmed with other classes. I tried looking my best using this beanie hat because my hair is so long that I feel like I'm in a rock band. It's just, it feels very, it's ugly. I'm going to show you right now. It's just so long. I can't do anything about it. I don't trust my barber. Maybe he's not sick, but I'm not gonna risk it, okay? So I'm just gonna wear this hat. Anyways, I tried to look my best, not only with this beanie hat, I also put a pine tree in the back, although it's not Christmas, but still I try. Hit me up in my email if you have any questions or concerns about the work, okay? Hit me an email if you feel like talking to somebody and you don't have anybody to talk to, so you have your teachers, okay? You could talk to me, you could send me an email about whatever you're going through right now, and I will happily answer it. Okay? Remember my office hours. Remember the lesson days, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Friday. A good afternoon. It's gonna be hot from now on, so enjoy that. Enjoy your time outside. Right. So catch you guys later. Thank you for participating.